Okay, so now I'm going to have a go at the last exercise in the array section of top interview questions on LeetCode. It's called rotate image. Okay, you're given an n by n 2D matrix representing an image. Rotate the image by 90 degrees clockwise. You have to rotate the image in place, which means you have to modify the input 2D array matrix directly. Do not allocate another 2D matrix and do the rotation. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need to rotate it clockwise and turn it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the input array is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The output array is 7, 4, 1, 8, 5, 2, 9, 6, 3. And example 2 is a similar example, but we've got a 4x4. Okay, the constraints n is the matrix length and the matrix I length, so that's the width, and the height is the same, and that's n, and n is between 1 and 20, so not particularly big. And the values in the matrix are between -1000 and +1000, but I don't think that that's relevant. Okay, so I'm going to have a look at how I'm going to do this. Okay, this is our array. We've got a 2D array, 4x4, and we have x positions 0 to 3 and y positions 0 to 3. And what we want to do is take the row at y0 and put it at x3. The row at y1, put it at x2. So the x position that we want needs to equal the length of the array minus its y position. Now the y position. So things at x3 need to go to y position 3, things at x2, y2, x1, y1, x0, y0. So the y position needs to become the current x position. So we can take any one cell, put it through this formula and find out its new position. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop through x and y. I'm going to loop through a 2D array from the start to halfway through the array. So I'm going to loop through these 4 values. Now I'm going to get the first position, 0, 0, run it through this value and work out the new position that it needs to go to. Now this 5 is going to need to go over to there. Now I'm going to take that value out and put it in a temporary buffer and put the 5 there, and then I'm going to work out the new position of this cell. I'm going to put that down here and take this value out, work out the new position of that cell. I'm going to keep going until I get back to the start, and I'm going to repeat the loop for all of the cells in this outer loop. Okay, so I've just added a method here to output the matrix, so just for testing purposes, and I've added matrix 1 and matrix 2, which are the 2 examples that they gave us. So the first example output matrix actually I don't even just want to call that method. So the first example, that's not right. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Second example, 5. I need to just put a comma after. Actually, I need to make sure the length is the same. Substring 0, comma 4 do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5, 1, 9, 11, 2, 4, 8, 10. Okay, those are the examples given to us in the exercise description. Right, so first thing, I'm going to make a method to convert the coordinates. So private convert coordinate x and y, and we want our new x to be, I'm going to give it the length of the array. We want our new x coordinate to be length minus y, and we want our new y coordinate to be x. Obviously I'm going to be overwriting x there, so I'll say int temp. Actually, I'll put it straight into the array that I'm returning. So new coordinates, I'm just going to return x and y in an int array there. So new chords at position 0 equals that. That's the x and that's the y. And then return new chords. Now I want to loop halfway through the array, but in the case of an array with an odd number, I want to go to the halfway point. So the halfway point, I'll work it out. Half length equals the ceiling of matrix length over 2. So if it's 3 we want 2, if it's 4 we want 2, if it's 5 we want 3, because we want to get that central column, and the same for the rows. And we can cast it to an int. So for int x is 0, x is less than or equal to half length. No, less than half length, because we're indexing from 0, x plus plus, and for y we're doing the same. So this is the first loop, just to find half the point. Now what I want to do is I want to remember the start position. So I'm going to do all this in a separate method. I'm going to call that method rotate set, and it's just going to return void because I'm going to pass it the array in. Rotate set. So it's going to take in the matrix, and it's going to take in a start x and a start y. So here I'm going to say rotate set matrix x y, and what rotate set is going to do is it's going to start off with current x equals start x, current y equals start y, and then it's going to work out the next x and the next y. Next x equals, new position equals convert chord, current x and current y. Matrix length, and then new x equals new pos 0 and new y equals new pos 1. Now, while new x is not equal to current start x, and new y is not equal to start y. So in other words, while we are going round, actually we need to do this 4 times no matter what the size of the array is. But I'll leave it like that. Actually no, I will do it 4 times. So it doesn't matter what, we don't have to remember start x and start y. For int I equals 0, I is less than 4, I plus plus. So I want to get the new position from the current position, and then what I need to do, okay, the first time I need to take the number from the current position and put it in a buffer. Int buffer equals matrix current x, current y, and then here I need to take the number out of the, I need to put the number in the buffer into the new position, but then get the number at the new position and put it in the buffer first. So int temp buffer equals matrix at new x, new y, and then that needs to become the buffer, and the buffer needs to become the temp buffer. So what I've done there in the case of this first loop is I've taken the 15, put it in a buffer. When I've got to the 5, I've put the 15 there, but put the 5 in the buffer. So I do that 4 times. Here I just need to say current x equals new x and current y equals new y. I think that's it, but I'm really not very confident that that's going to work. But let's have a go. Okay, so going back to this, I said that x needed to be length minus y. So in 0, it's length minus 1 minus y. Is it? But the thing came up with 3, 0. Yeah, it needs to be x minus 1 minus y. Because we're indexing from 0. And length is 3, although the rightmost position of the rightmost column is index 2. So let's have a look. Did that work? That didn't work at all. It should have been 741. That didn't work at all. So I'll debug again. Okay, so we know that works. Rotate set. Right, so the first new position is 2, 0. X2, Y, 0. Temp buffer, we want to take the value out of there. The value is 3. It's got 7. Okay, I need to swap new X and new Y. I tend to not think too much about this. And just rush through really. Let me see if that's fixed it. It still hasn't fixed it. But it's put the corners in the correct position. The thing is, we never want to do the same. I know what's going wrong. We never want to do the same cell again. So in the 3, 3 array, we want to do it to the corners and we want to do it to the edges. So we don't need to do these. But in the 4, 4 array, we want to do it in the corners, in the first edge. But then we do need to do it to the second edge and the inner bits. No, I'm going to do the same. There may be a better way of doing this, but I'm going to do the same loop as before, but I'm going to remember if I've done a cell, if I've touched a cell. I'm going to remember that just by the coordinates of the cell. And if I've looked at a cell before, I'm not going to do it again. So, there's probably a better way of doing this. I'm going to make a set of string processed cells. There's not that many cells, so what is it? 20 by 20 at the most. So every time I look at a cell, so here I get a new X and a new Y. I'm going to say process cells, add string value of new X plus comma string value of new Y. And then before I go into the loop, I'm going to make sure that I haven't looked at the cell that I'm thinking about going into the loop with. So if not processed cells contains string value of X plus comma plus string value of Y. So if we haven't looked at the cell before, then go into the loop, otherwise don't. So what I'm doing in the case of the 3 by 3, I'll do that one, I'll do that one. When I do this one, I'll add this cell, this cell, this cell, and this cell to process cells. Then I'll look at that one, I'll add that, and that to process cells. Then I'll look at this one, see I've done it before, leave it. That one doesn't do anything anyway. In the 4x4, I'll do that, 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 and that, followed by that, 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 and that. Then I'll look at this cell, that, 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 and that, and then this cell, that, 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 and that. There's probably a clever way of doing it, but I think that this it still hasn't worked. 1, 2, 3. The 4 is not in the right place. It should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But the 4. Okay, every time I look in the array, I need to swap my X and the Y over. Seven four one 852 963. The way I'm looking at the array is the first index, because the array is a list of arrays. The first index is which one of these we're looking at, and these are the Y positions. The indexes within those are the X positions. So every time I look in the array, I need to put the Y before the X, which is sort of counterintuitive, but that's what was catching me out. So it's working on 3x3. I'm just going to try it on 4x4. If it comes up with the right answer, I'll submit that. 15, 13, 2, 5, 14, 3, 4, 1, 12, 6, 8, 9, 16, 7, 10, 11. Okay, so that's my solution. That's pretty challenging. If we would have had if there wasn't the condition on it that we couldn't create a new 2D array, then really we could have just looped through the entire array, done convert coord, so just worked out how to do that, and then created, just loop through the entire array, convert the coord, and put it in the new array, and then return the new array. But the annoying bit of it was that we're not able to produce a new array. Now I think I'm going to get beaten on speed, because I have been, the central cell, I rotated that 4 times and that was unnecessary, but I'm just going to leave it. And I'm also going to get beaten on memory, because this process cells, I'm sure that wasn't the best way of doing it, but that's my way of doing it, and I'm going to submit that. Okay, is it going to pass all the tests? There might be some. Okay, accepted. Runtime. It looks like that they were just judging. Well, it looks like everyone did it in less than a millisecond. It's not a very big array. But the memory distribution, I'm not sure where I am on here, but I don't expect I did particularly well there. But that's my solution, and I'm happy with that. It works anyway. So that's my solution to LeetCode's rotate image. Thanks for watching.